Hi everyone and welcome. This is 2026 and I'm going to talk about the 4 planets that are shifting sign this year. And there is going to be a lot of changes for many of us. Maybe you feel 2025 was the year where you had a lot of endings. A lot of things might not have been clear, but it's becoming clearer now in 2026 when Neptune and Saturn are shifting sign into Aries. Welcome to my channel. My name is Charlotte Westerheim and my channel is Dancing Astrologer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for liking and commenting my videos. I love to hear from you. Somebody asked me where I'm from with my last name. I'm half Norwegian, half Danish. I live currently in Switzerland. I've been living in Norway, Denmark and Iceland and England and currently in Switzerland. I love the way that I have subscribers from all over the world and I really appreciate every one of you. So let's talk about what we have in store for 2026. So one of the slowest moving planets is Neptune, and it's been in the sign of Pisces since 2011. So you might have a think about it, that take your chart and have a look to see what house has it gone through since 2011, because that will say a lot about which area of your life, your chart was impacted by the Neptune influence. So what is Neptune? Neptune is about dreaming big, it's about spirituality, it's about sometimes running from reality and sometimes not seeing things clear, or we're seeing what we want to see. That's why there can be a fog around Neptune. And sometimes it's also about what we accept from other people. So recently, end of last year, 2025, and beginning of this year, I had a few clients and I realized there's been a bit of a trend because people were telling me how they felt 2025 was about having enough of something, having enough of a dynamic in your family, having enough of dynamic at work and the workplace. And some of the themes really were not being sure that you had the right to react or saying enough is enough. Because with Neptune in Pisces, this is kind of the sign where you want to believe the best of people and you want to give people a second chance. You might also think, oh, they're going through something difficult, I need to be more empathetic, I need to be more understanding. But we can sometimes end up understanding a bit too much. And so this shift now, where we are in 29 degrees of Neptune finishing up in Pisces, you can ask yourself, have I graduated from this phase in my life or this chapter in my life? Have I understood what I'm supposed to learn? And so in one way, a lot of people have used this period to create and to get ahead in life. And this depends where, of course, Pisces is in your chart. If it's maybe a personal achievement, or if it's more in relationship or family or in your career area. But a lot of people have gone ahead, taking the dreams and dreaming big and getting out of the box somehow. And but still not sure what to do with it and how to make it happen. This is where we're getting help now when we have Neptune turning or moving into Aries, because Aries is a cardinal sign. Aries is about me. And it's a little bit like, as one of my clients said, I'm ready to cut the crap. I'm ready to think about me now because I've been way too empathetic and understanding of other people's bad behavior. And I'm ready to say, okay, that is one chapter that's over, and I have learned that I need to, and that I matter as well, and I need to put myself first. So this is quite a refreshing energy, although we can learn a lot from being understanding and empathetic and to dream and to believe the best. There is also a limit to that, and that limit is coming up now in Aries. So what we want to see now for ourselves is, or what we can expect to see rather, with Aries as cardinal sign, is a fire sign. It's a sign that wants to think about themselves and what they want to do. And they want to go out in the world with more gutso and more courage and sticking out a plan for themselves that they are going to follow through with. So I think we take the good from the Pisces area, the Pisces chapter in our life, and bring those ideas and understanding and learning and lessons, bring them into areas where we will have more like, we will be more in the driving seat, and we will see the path ahead as more clear. It will basically be like lifting the fog. So I had a few clients who were talking about how now that Neptune has been in the last degree of Pisces, it's really kind of where you make a conclusion about what you've been through for the last years during the time that Neptune's been in Pisces, which is since 2011. It's a really long time. And obviously we've gone through ups and downs and different phases, and that would have to do with what other planets did Neptune meet in your chart in Pisces. Maybe you have no planets in Pisces itself, but it would have made certain aspects in forms of challenging aspects like squares or positions, or more supportive aspects like trines and sextiles to other planets in your chart. So you would have been on a journey, whether you have a planet in Pisces or not. And if you have a planet in Pisces or more, you most likely will have certain themes come up, which we can only determine by looking at your chart. But nevertheless, a lot of the things that you've been through is now wisdom and experience accumulated to take you to the next phase. And it would be even more interesting when in February, 13th of February, Saturn, which has been in Pisces since 2023, will join Neptune at 0 degrees in Aries. This is literally the start of the new zodiac cycles. It's very exciting because you have the dreamer and of Neptune, and where there's a lot of like non-verbal communication, spirituality, understanding of energies that we all have, and which we get really good at with Neptune, of sensing those energies. And in combination with Saturn, that is to take some of that sensitivity from Neptune and understanding and basically listening more to the inner you and trust your instinct. Trust if something feels right or wrong and let that lead you. With Saturn, Saturn likes to make something real, to create something that we can count on, something that is for the long term. So in Aries, Saturn is more at ease than in Pisces because it's an Earth planet. And it likes to build, and it likes to have something concrete. And in a fire sign, it really gets the wheels going, or it gets some wings, or whatever, however you like to say it. But it's more at ease. It's more able to create and construct in the sign of Aries than it is in Pisces. So, you might take this next chapter and look at your chart. Where is Aries? Which house is Aries placed in your birth chart? Because that will say something about not only Aries principles, like cardinal fire sign, ruled by Mars, but it will also say something about where is it specifically in your chart, which house area, which kind of experiences are coming up for you with those two planets. So the other big shift we have had is, of course, Uranus. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. So you might want to think back. What have you been through since 2018? There's been a big shift for many of us, of course, since 2020 when we had the epidemic, we had the COVID. And Uranus likes to revolutionize every sign it comes into. And Taurus is a very earthy sign. It's about accumulating wealth as one of the principles. It's also about connecting with Earth and have structures of security and safety. It's also about our self-worth. And it's about creating skills or honing our own skills in order to create value for ourselves. It's a value system ruled sign. And if we think back to COVID, Uranus is about technology and it's about revolution. And what it actually did, it did many things, but one of the things that did was revolutionize how we work, because suddenly we were all asked to work from home. I remember in my company, within a few weeks, it was all set up with technology that we could all work from home. And our kids were suddenly sitting at home in front of the computer and learning. This was their homeschooling. So that was a lot of changes where, wow, we can do things in a different way. A lot of businesses, of course, we saw during Uranus in Taurus that if you are, unfortunately, a lot of businesses suffered, like hotel business, which was relying on people turning up and being present in the hotel, or travel services, whereas other businesses were created because suddenly there was a boost of everything online happening, and suddenly we could set up, we could learn online, we could connect with people in a different way. Online, we didn't have to be there physically, and a lot of businesses found other ways to operate. And this is very Uranus related. It's future-oriented planet, and it's a planet that brings change and put a bit of a bomb under the norms and what we know. It can be very unsettling, but in the aftermath of these changes, we might be able to see, okay, this is useful, this we can take with us, and this we would rather put to the side. So what can we expect when Uranus is entering into Gemini? So of course, Gemini is an air sign, and Gemini is already concerned with communication, with connecting with other people, with learning and bringing people together, exchanging ideas and learning from each other. That is a big component of Gemini. And with Uranus is very much at home here, because Uranus is also concerned with learning and looking into the future and combining ideas and in reinventing or inventing new things. Look at ChatGPT, for example. It's just exploded for the last few years, and Uranus is still in Taurus. So I think we can all expect on a more global idea that there will be an explosion in how we communicate through AI, and now we don't even know what we can trust anymore, because things can look very real, and this is going to be a whole new era. But look first and foremost in your own chart, where is Gemini? In what house of your chart do you have Gemini? That will say something about which area is being revolutionized in terms of communication, about understanding, about how you come across, how you share your ideas, and how you learn, and how you make sense of the world, and how you connect with others. What we will see, it will be very interesting, because I think new ideas will really go fast, they will move fast, and they will be implemented fast. And together with Neptune in Aries and Saturn in Aries, I think there will be ideas that will be materialized very quickly when we combine it as well with Uranus in Gemini, because air signs, they flow very fast and things can change very rapidly. So we better, hold on because things will move fast. And then last, this is social planet, Jupiter, that is changing sign from Cancer to Leo, which will happen in June. We are going to see, first of all, Jupiter stays about 1 year in each sign. So I think it entered in June 2025, and it will into Cancer, and it will enter into Leo end of June 2026. So Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system, and it will enlarge everything it touches. So when Jupiter has gone through Cancer, we have perhaps felt like the area of the principle of Cancer, which is our family, our inheritance, our roots, where we come from, where we belong, our identity in a family setting, or even in our country, our culture. And that has become even more important. And it's Cancer being a water sign, it's very emotional, and it's driven very much by intuition, and it's also very protective. Think about the crab, how it walks sideways, looking out with little googly eyes, and it has the big claws. It's ready to fight for what is dear to it, whether that be family or country or anything close to the heart. So when Jupiter's gone through that sign, you have to see where in your chart it falls. but the principle will be very much about what is important to us when it comes to family. And it doesn't always need to be blood family. It can also be the family or people we belong with, or we feel that we connect with on an emotional level, where we feel home and where we feel safe. And in June, late June, when Jupiter changes sign to Leo, that is a very different quality, because here we go into a fire sign. And Leo is also a creative sign. It's a very romantic, generous type of sign. It's about children, playfulness, and it's about finding that inner fire within yourself of what you enjoy doing in life. And so that's going to be a whole beacon of light coming from Jupiter, and it will enlarge that need. And we will probably see a lot of people coming up more out and daring to express their own unique creativity, and also taking on some leadership, because Leo is a natural leader, or like to take natural leadership in its field, whatever field that is, and that will be seen depending on which house it falls in your chart, and what planets you have in there, and of course which aspects they make. But this is your time to shine and find out where you can express yourself in an authentic way and a unique way that is you. And I think we're going to have a year where a lot of us will have a lot of fun in that area. It's, as I said, it's a fire sign. It's a bit being more playful. It's about pulling out those storytelling talents, or creating something that other people can relate to and can kind of expand our inner world. And so these kind of shifts, they all kind of sums up a year of change, because some of these planets like Neptune, they've been in Pisces in 2011, and Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. Of course, those planets, when you think back of your life, the changes you made, and what I've seen with clients coming to me, there's been some of the themes of, I'm ready for a shift now. I feel that this has been a period for me where I realized that, especially with Neptune, one of the clients was saying, I didn't choose this. That was not how I wanted my life to pan out, and that it was in relation to family and feeling an obligation to stick around even when there was a lack of respect in this case. And I think this shift symbolized for many people the right to feel enough is enough, the right to feel that I can make choices that are good for me, and I don't need to always accommodate other people's bad behavior or disrespect or whatever it is. This is just one example. But I feel that this shift, change, can be unsettling. It can be, we know what we have, but we don't know what's coming. And with 4 planets, 2 outer planets, Neptune and Uranus, and 2 social planets, Saturn and Jupiter, changing signs, that is a big shift in just 1 year. And it's something that we will all feel an impact on, depending on where it is in our chart. And I suggest that we all make the most of these changes, because they're going to happen whether we like it or not. But it could also suggest for us that this is a new chapter, that we follow the planets, and of course, really look at where things are happening in our own chart. What can we expect? Which areas are going to be revolutionized by Uranus, which is going to have a big spotlight from Jupiter, and where there will be some different shift with Neptune and Saturn going into Aries, where we go from blurry, foggy, not sure what happened, into more dedicated and focused new way of relating or being or creating. So if you are interested in having reading with me, where we look at your specific chart and look in detail on where these changes will happen for you, please just click on the link below, dancingastrologer.com, and you can book 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever you feel is needed. Sometimes people just want to have a quick session to have some clarity, and sometimes there is a need for more deep dive. Somebody was asking me last week, what is any reduction for recurrent clients? And actually, it's not on my website, but I think it's a good idea. So I will update my website, but for now, I will say yes, 10% reduction for recurrent clients. And if you make a referral, you will get 20% off your next reading with me. So thank you so much for trusting me. For those of you who booked with me, and I would say happy 2026, and we will catch up a little later. Take care, and thank you for watching.